This is Divine Vocals.
Okay, welcome to Divine Vocals today. My name is Larry C, and today on Divine Vocals, we are going to look at yet another issue that is interesting. Yes, don't forget, this is where we connect your opinions, your voice, and of course, your views on issues that affect you as a Christian first, and of course, issues that affect you as a Nigerian. Today, we'll be looking at the issue of how to save your lover's name in your phone. Or rather, how to save your lover's contact on your phone. Whichever way, the best way to save your lover's contact on your phone. You know, so many relationships today have actually broken up as a result of different issues, one of those issues is the issue of how to save your lover's contact or the pet name to use. So many of us, we use different pet names like my treasure, my love, mine, M-I-N-E, my sweetheart, my pal, my sweet pie, my nigga, whatever. We love these names. But eventually, these names put us into trouble sometimes. I'm going to show you a video in this broadcast today of two lovers who are actually fighting as a result of this issue. But before then, we'll take a short break, and then when I return, I'll introduce my guest who's right here with me in the studio. Don't go anywhere. Divine Vocals returns shortly.
This is Divine Vocals, connecting your voice, your views on issues that affect you as a Christian. This is Divine Vocals, contemporary issues from a Christian perspective. Stay on Divine Vocals with Larry C. Don't miss the exciting moments of passion, disagreements, drama, and educating conversations.
Welcome back to the show. Like I said, I have a guest with me in the studio. He's been here on Divine Vocals before, and we are glad to have him again. He is Reverend Father Paul Nwokolo. Father, you're welcome to Divine Vocals today.
Thank you, and God bless you.
How are you doing today?
I am very, very fine. Welcome
to the show. Thank you. The best way to save your lover's contact on your phone. It actually sounds funny, but these little things sometimes cause break up in relationships. I'm going to show a video subsequently because of this program of two lovers who are actually fighting as a result of these issues. Very short and very funny, but it's serious. But looking at it, like I said, relationships are breaking for little issues, issues that are even less than this. But on this issue of the best way to save your lover's contact, there are some persons who start by saving very sweet names on their phone as their lover's name, and then after wedding, things begin to change and they don't stick to it anymore. Generally, what's your thoughts about this?
It's actually funny. Very, very funny.
Yeah.
You see, my dear, what majority of us have not come to know about name and naming is that to define it, I could use two different terms. See, talk of nomenclature. See name more or less from a tag, that perspective of a tag. You give this person, this is a tag, you give the person. But there is also an ontological part of it. The existence of that name in your heart, who gave the name, and then the life of the one who gave it to. I don't know if you understand me.
Yes.
Of course, there is nothing doggish in a dog. If not, that is the name we have said to give to that animal. Now, whether you give somebody a pet name or not, the question is, how do you relate with the pet name and how do you relate with the person?
Does it correspond with...
Because you can call any person any name. You see people now, they just hear that this person calls this person my choice. Say, that's fine. If I have a lover, that's what I would call. Are you just calling because it sounds fine? Or you are calling that name because actually that is your choice? That's the question. So it's not the name with which you save the number or the name that you call the person. The question is, how do you relate with that name? How does this name bind two of you? What does this name you give to each other do in that relationship? How do you bring that name into existence, to live? Because the name have to be alive in your relationship. People who see you should see the name even before you mention it. Else, you are lying to yourselves. be a way of fooling you, making you feel good. Why the person who calls you the name do not even make you feel good in the first place? You know, I was asking a lady, when your husband call you my angel, how do you feel? He said, Father, I feel great. And I said, what is the meaning of angel?
She doesn't even know.
Of course, every person believes that angel is a messenger of God. I told him that angel by itself means messenger. So when your husband says my angel, he's saying my messenger. I said, God forbid. I said, but that is what you have been hearing. So sometimes we don't know the meaning of this name. And even when we know it, but the major question I'm asking here is, if I call you my honey, my choice, darling, and all those sweet things, in my action, do I leave it out? Are you really that thing I call you? Or it's just on my lips and it's not in my heart? That is what we should be thinking about.
Okay, so the names we call our pets, or the pet names we call our lovers, should actually correspond with the way we treat them.
Of course.
Okay, I'm going to show you this video now of two lovers who are actually fighting as a result of what the guy used to save the girl's name on his phone. Watch it and we'll be right back on the program. Don't go anywhere.
I'm not don't want to say you may be against the fire. I'm not gonna leave you. Now me and you today. You go tell me the reason why I saw your number with my desire. My desire. Do you know what desire means? You go use a cook and store my number. You have got more reason to store your that number with a cook. Or when you delete it, you hear that about again. You better delete the number, or you tell me the reason why you go store my number with a cook. I'm not don't want to say you may be against the fire. I'm not gonna leave you. Now me and you today. You go tell me the reason why I saw your number with my desire. My desire. Do you know what desire means? You go use a cook and store my number. You have got more reason to store your that number with a cook. Or when you delete it, you hear that about again. You better delete the number, or you tell me the reason why you go store my number with a cook.
This is Divine Vocals, connecting your voice, your views on issues that affect you as a Christian. This is Divine Vocals, contemporary issues from a Christian perspective. Stay on Divine Vocals with Larry C. Don't miss the exciting moments of passion, disagreements, drama, and educating conversations.
All right. I'm sure that looked funny to you. And quickly, for those who do not understand that language, okay, the girl was actually fighting the guy because she saved his name, according to her. She saved his name in her phone with my desire. My desire. Oh, you know, and unfortunately for her, she found out that this guy, who happens to be her lover, also saved her name with a kuke. A kuke in Igbo language means a village dog. You know, imagine how this lady must have felt, you know, seeing that name. And someone who she calls her desire. She sees this guy as her desire, and she desires to marry him. I don't know if they are married already, you know, but this actually caused problem. And I'm sure this must have led to the breakup of that relationship. You know, what's your take on that, Father, before I ask you what the Bible has to say about this?
You see, my dear, please be careful. People communicate a lot of message to us through in various ways. The gift somebody gives you tells you what the person think about you.
Sometimes, not all the time.
Most times.
Yes, most times.
You know, if you value me, when you want to give me a gift, you will look for something that has substance.
Yes.
By the time you see somebody, you want to give somebody a birthday gift, and you give the person toothpaste and brush, the person should look into his life and see how his teeth is.
What happens to
you know, and all that. Now, this girl have seen this. This is how this man has saved my number. This calls for an introspection. Somebody you so much love and cherish calls you village dog. It's not a time to fight. It's a time to go on retreat. Lock yourself in your room and think, who am I actually? What impression have I given to this person? Who did I tell him that I am by the way I behave? Am I actually a local dog? Or he did not understand me? So it's the message probably that she has given to the guy that make the guy to give her that name. So when you hear such name, when people call you name, it's a time for you to sit down and think deeply.
It's very funny, actually.
Where did this name come from? You're not fighting. Fighting will not do anything for you.
Of course, fighting
won't do anything for you. So you have to think. So that if it means, okay, I think I've given a very wrong impression of myself to this person, you can end the relationship. When you end another relationship, you now try to give a good and a better impression, so that you will be given a better name.
To see if you actually behave like a village dog.
Of course, behave and ask
have
yourself.
a change of behavior.
You have to put a village dog and then put your own behavior
side by side,
and see how much you are like this village dog.
All right, Father, like I always ask, we Christians, we like to fall back to the scripture, what the scripture has to say about issues. Is there something that the scripture has to say about how we should save the contact of our lovers on our phone?
Thank God that during Bible time there was no phone, let alone saving contacts. So that shouldn't even come up. But then we know that, as I said before, names go a long way to tell us about ourselves and about the impression we give to other people. So we don't need the Bible to know if we should give somebody we love a pet name or even our own children, if we should give them pet names. I know that in 1 Peter chapter 3 verse 6, we are told that Sarah called Abraham my Lord and respected him as such. So, most time everything is not about Bible, but about ourselves. If we understand who we are and what we have been called to do, I've said it before. If the name you call somebody is not what you tell the person that he or she is, you are a liar. And you cannot see yourself as a Christian because you are lying to somebody. You can't be calling me honey, and then when you go out there, you say, that guy, that leave. You are lying to me. You can't say my choice, and I am actually not your choice, you have other choices. So, we should be truthful. That's what I would say. The Bible commands us to be truthful. So whatever name you give any person, let that name be coming from you. If there is nothing you feel about this person or giving the person name, call the person the name that the parents have given to him or her, and feel good with it.
There are some persons who actually tell you, I call my wife the name that the parents gave to her. I call my husband his name, and I'm more comfortable with that than looking for a pet name.
Of course, there are certain names that calling it gives you consolation and courage. For instance, now you are married to somebody called Ifeanyi Chukwu. What pet name do you want to give to this person that will take that place of that name? Each time you see him and said Ifeanyi Chukwu, it gives you courage. You can move on, no matter the situation. And so it depends on your interpretation and your attachment to that name. It's no matter of that. All these things came up from
modernization.
Wherever it came from. And we now accept it. And we give people all sorts of names. Coke, Fanta, my jollof rice, my fried rice, my pomo, my sugar. Pie. And sometimes when you give this name, for example, somebody is calling you my sugar. The day he will throw you into the water, what happens? You dissolve and you are gone forever.
It's been an interesting conversation here today, and we've just got to talk about it today on Divine Vocals. My guest today has been Reverend Father Paul Nwokolo, and it has been an interesting conversation. Father, thank you once again for coming on the program today.
Thank you very much.
We hope to have you next time on the show.
Thank you.
Okay, finally, the name you use, or the pet name you call your lover is not actually matters. You heard it from my guest. Your interpretation is what actually matters. Do you actually see your lover that way, or do you take your lover to be that thing, by character, by attitude, by the way you live with that lover? Do you actually live out that name that you've decided to give to your lover? Do not give your lover names that you heard someone give to his or her lover and you just fell in love with that name. You feel like because your friend calls the wife or the girlfriend my sugar pie, you say, oh, that's what is the norm. When I get a girlfriend or when I get married, that's the name I'm going to give to my husband. No. Let it come from your heart. Let it be interpreted in your character. That's where we'll be drawing the curtain today on Divine Vocals. Don't forget to drop your comments on the comment section below, like, and of course subscribe to our channel, TV Divine Vocals, and all that of our social media handles rolling on your screen. My name is Larry C. I'll see you again.